Welcome to the Misquamicut Beach Podcast, a podcast spotlighting the businesses, newsmakers, events, and memories of Rhode Island's historic Misquamicut Beach.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Misquamicut Beach podcast. And it is the end of 2018. It has been a fantastic year for Misquamicut Beach. And I thought that there was nobody better to join me today on this last episode of the year to kind of talk about the year and talk about all of the great things that happened at Misquamicut Beach and some of the stuff that happened on this show and all of the events and music and some of the social stuff that happened that was really awesome. Then Justine Gouvin, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks
for having me.
Thank you for coming back. Justine has become a rising star in the Westerly community. In the past year, she started the Misquamicut Waste Warriors. And can you tell us a little bit about? We have a full episode with Justine talking about the Misquamicut Waste Warriors. Can you just tell me a little bit again about how that started and how that sort of morphed into you having even a bigger role in Misquamicut Beach?
Yeah, of course. So back in the spring, I thought about some of the issues that we have locally, and I noticed, especially recently, that trash on the beach was becoming a huge issue. So I decided to just create a really casual, a couple of my friends get together sort of thing, and we were going to go pick up trash at the beach. I made a Facebook page just for fun, and once we went for the first time and I took some pictures and we exposed the problem to the rest of the community, it grew tremendously. And every week we had people joining the Facebook page and coming out to pick up trash with us. And, all kinds of opportunities opened up for this group. We had an interview with Lieutenant Governor Dan McKee on his show, all kinds of newspaper things, and it all worked in our favor because we were able to make a huge change this summer at the beach when it comes to trash removal. A dumpster was included in the beach. We had in the state beach parking lot. So at the end of the day, everybody could put their trash somewhere rather than throw it on the ground. And so, yeah, a lot of great things came of that, and we're looking into options for next year as far as putting trash cans or doing something like that, and hopefully with the momentum that we got going this year, we'll be able to make that happen for next year.
So the day that I interviewed you last time was the day that you guys had like a press conference at the beach, and then that was when the dumpsters were announced, or the dumpsters were announced later that week. How cool was it for you to, you started this not really having a position, just being a beach goer as like hundreds of thousands of people are in the Misquamicut area. And you were a part of this big, movement and this social change, and you literally got like a policy changed at the state level. Like, what was that like for you?
It was crazy. I mean, it's really, most importantly, I'd like to be an example to other people, especially young people, because anybody can go out and make a difference like that. It wasn't hard. Like I said, it just started with me and my friends as a fun thing and turned out to be something really important. So, it was exciting, and, I was a little bit nervous at first meeting with all the, the town and state officials and everything, but it opened a lot of doors, not only for me, but for our town and, for my friends and all the people that were involved in the group. So it was really amazing, the whole thing.
I get that. There was, we did a Fallfest preview episode, and Caswell I'm talking to Caswell on the phone, for the show, and he just is like, "Oh, hey, hold on a second, Ben. Here's Lieutenant Dan." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay." Now I'm on the phone interviewing the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Rhode Island, like, and that was like a what just happened moment, Yeah. So going in and so that's I have a tiny perspective on actually making a change and getting to know these people that you did, and that's really awesome. And the Misquamicut Waste Warriors had such a huge impact this year, and you obviously were the driving force that started that and behind it, and it made me more it honestly made me more conscious about like what I'm putting where, and what I'm putting in recycling, and just the little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me more conscious of it personally, and so I think about that a lot, which is awesome. And just like you were saying, being a good example for people. Is it because of that you have sort of become like a part of the Misquamicut Beach family?
I think so. Yeah.
Because you seem like a really integral member now.
Yeah. Yeah. I met Caswell through, the Waste Warriors, and, in the very beginning, we decided that we were going to work together because I was just, somebody that had an idea, and he had, the ability to make it sort of happen. He let us use the cart and stuff like that. I started working at the drive-in, which was such a fun job this summer. I love working there. And, I just try to do as much as I could to help out. And now I work for him doing membership things for the MBA. I keep track of the members and trying to get more people to become involved in the Misquamicut Business Association, because we want it to be ever growing and continue to be able to do more and more things. So, I kind of just help out with the MBA wherever it needs help, and, hopefully it can continue to grow with that too. So
that's awesome. Let's talk about the drive-in. We did I was there at the very first drive-in this year, filming some stuff, and it never ceases to amaze me how cool it is that we have a drive-in in town, period.
yeah.
Just the screen and the old commercials that they play at the beginning, mixed in with some current real commercials for places in town, which is nice. I made one of the commercials a few years ago for somebody, but I had never seen it like in use. So like we filmed it and edited it and directed it and everything. And seeing it actually on a big screen was really cool. I hadn't seen that before. And it's just a really fun like time out, and there's so many of them over the summer, and it's not just summer. I think, does it go from like May to September, or?
Yeah, this year it went into October.
Oh, wow.
The first couple weeks in October, but next year it might just be into September, because it does slow down, once the season's over and it gets cold. But
it was cold. We were there in early May, and it was before Springfest, I think.
Right.
What was your favorite movie or experience from the drive-in this year?
I would have to say, this is probably everybody's favorite, but I really like Jaws, obviously, but mostly not only just because the movie is good, but there's so much energy there. There's such a huge turnout every time we play Jaws. It's like, it's just cool to see everybody, who's a fan, like they wear their t-shirts, or, same thing with Jurassic Park. Like people, we bring in the cars, people who have the cars from Jurassic Park will come, and all the kids will take pictures. It's really just overall a good family event, and it's just cool to see the huge amount of people that will come out for those really popular movies. So
that's awesome. And speaking of specialty cars, across the street from the drive-in is the Windjammer, which is a fantastic place to go all the time. But did you check out any of the classic car nights?
I didn't make it to any this year, but I saw them obviously in passing.
Yeah.
But I know that's also another thing that, brings in a lot of people, and everybody loves to see the cars, and the Windjammer wants to continue to host it, I believe. So that should be a good thing for next year too.
Definitely. And the classic cars are also at Springfest and Fallfest.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. This is an event to me that makes no difference to anyone else in the world. Is I recently became Facebook friends with Cruz and Bruce Palmer, who hosts some of the car shows. He's a radio DJ.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, he was on B101, and my dad listened to B101 every single day. And on the afternoon drive. And I told Caswell when he wanted me to go do this stuff for Springfest this year, I was like, that's fine, but I have to meet Cruz and Bruce Palmer. And I didn't. And I was so bummed, and I still haven't. And that's my goal for 2019.
There you go.
I have very small goals. All right. My childhood heroes were Cruz and Bruce Palmer and Tony Petrarca from WPRI.
I love it.
If I can meet both of those guys in 2019, that'll be great. But I am now Facebook friends with them. So the classic car shows were awesome. I mean, there were so many events. Like, what were some of the events that you went to this summer in Misquamicut?
The new thing that we had was the circus. I only made it to one, but he did also perform at Fallfest, and I believe that they're going to have him come back next year to do Springfest and Fallfest if he wants to. But that the circus was Rhodey's Red Nose Circus was once a week, and that took place in the drive-in parking lot, which was a good event for the kids. We also this year, I don't know if it was new, but there was the Princess show at the Windjammer. So the princesses also performed at Fallfest too. And they were at the downtown shutdown. They're all over the place, but they do a really good job.
Check out Simply Enchanted on Facebook, or I think it's Simply Enchanted RI.
Yeah.
Raquel Weinrock from Simply Enchanted, who plays all of the main princess. She has such a talented group.
Yeah, they do such a great job
of people. But she's really awesome, and she's been on the show, as has Rhodey's Red Nose Circus. I can't think of his clown name at the moment.
His clown name is Zippo.
Zippo. Okay, so Zippo was on the show as well as Raquel. So check those out. They were awesome, fun episodes. One thing that I didn't get to this year that I'm really looking forward to next year is the hermit crab races.
Oh, yeah, the Purple Ape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to them?
I haven't been to them, but that's on my bucket list too, because
I like that we have a Misquamicut Beach bucket list.
Yeah.
That's fun. We had pretty big Springfest and Fallfest this year.
Yeah.
Both of them went really well. Springfest, the headlining act was it was kind of like a double. It was Badfinger. It was Joey Mullen's Badfinger, but then opening for Joey Mullen was Phil Solem from the Rembrandts.
Okay.
Who sings "I'll Be There for You," the theme from Friends, and I got to talk to both of those people. Joey Mullen is my favorite episode of this show. He did not know I was calling him. His manager seemed to forget to tell him, or something, like something got crossed. So I just called this dude who played with John Lennon and stuff, and he has no idea who I am or that he's expected to give an interview right now. And I think I have the first few minutes of that recording somewhere, but it's awesome. He's just like, "What? Who are you? Why? What are we doing?" Okay,
so
and then he
funny.
gave me like 25 minutes, and he was just so gracious.
Yeah.
But did you get to see Badfinger? Like, were you there for Springfest?
I wasn't working with the NBA for Springfest, but I did go. I don't think it was on the night that they were performing.
We have some great videos up on the new Misquamicut Beach YouTube channel. Check that out. We have some great videos of Badfinger performing their hits, like "Come and Get It," and I don't think we have we have Baby Blue and stuff. So we have some of the great stuff, and then we made a Springfest video with "I'll Be There for You" from Friends, which is cool. Phil Solem liked it. He liked the video, which was nice.
Yeah,
that was a nice thumbs up. And then Fallfest was big as well. Fallfest, one of the main attractions was the circus, which went over great. People definitely liked the circus, and it was in the same area as the Frozen.
Yeah,
as the princesses.
Yep.
I shouldn't just say Frozen. It's Moana and
Right.
and all of that stuff. So it was in that general area. It used to be called the demo area, and I think it is now like officially the circus area, or it was.
Yeah.
Or it was for Fallfest. That stuff was really awesome this fall, and then you had Atlantic Rhythm Section or Atlanta Rhythm Section. Did Spooky, and you were there for that.
Yeah, I was there
saw
for
you
that.
there.
That was pretty cool. I got to meet all the band members, and
oh yeah,
that was cool.
Nice.
Yep, they were all really nice.
They had a packed house for that.
Yeah, definitely.
It was really full. The weather held out. It was really nice that night. It was really cool. We have a video up on the Misquamicut Beach YouTube channel of Spooky, their hit song Spooky, that I'm sure everybody knows. That went out on Halloween, which was awesome. And then speaking of October, you were a part of the Guy Fawkes Bonfire this year. And tell everybody your character name.
Actually, it was the Waste Warrior. That was a really interesting event. That was actually my first time going to that event.
Yeah.
And I was in it. So, that was pretty cool. But it's definitely kind of just a casual, like, fun night for everybody. And then the bonfire was epic. I mean, it was great. So,
the bonfire, there's also a full video if you want to see the entirety of Guy Fawkes. It's on YouTube, on the Misquamicut Beach YouTube page. And at the very end of the video, you see the bonfire get lit behind the stage.
Yeah.
It's massive.
It was one of the biggest bonfires I've ever seen.
I was so shocked. I mean, I'm zooming in because I'm trying to film and I'm trying to do the end of the bows. And the bonfire just gets lit behind the stage. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I know.
I didn't realize how close it was going to be.
Yeah.
And
I
it was so huge. But that was a really, really fun night.
Yeah.
And I had never been to Guy Fawkes either.
Yeah.
That was our, sorry, not our, I'm nobody. That was the 21st anniversary
Yeah.
of Guy Fawkes bonfire at Misquamicut Beach. And it was great. It's, have you ever, are you a fan or do you know any like Monty Python before? Because that's what the show is based on, you know, like Caswell and Ryan Zemanek sort of write it in the Monty Python-esque, like, the search for the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
So it's very like cheeky and as you know, like you were named the Waste Warrior.
Yeah.
So, like, what did you think? Was that your first time on stage? Act. I'm going to use acting in quotes for Guy Fawkes.
No, it wasn't. I mean, I've done a lot of things in high school, like as far as drama and, I've been on stage before, but it's still very different. It wasn't like we did rehearsals and stuff, but as far as my part specifically, I didn't have any lines or anything. So it was very like, casual. I could kind of just, it was a different experience. You had to just kind of go with the flow, but that's kind of how the whole night is. It's fun, but definitely different.
They should have thrown in a little bit about, trash cleanup or something if they were going to call you the Waste Warrior.
It was kind of a last minute addition. Originally I was just supposed to help, and then he was like, "You want to be on stage?" And I was, "All right, I'll do it," so.
That was a lot of fun. They already have the date and the poster and everything out for. I was really surprised at the turnaround on that.
Yeah.
For next year's
gonna be,
Guy Fawkes
at the Windjammer next year,
right? Which I think is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously the Andrea is fantastic, but they have a booking already for next year.
Yeah.
So it's moving to the Windjammer, and that's going to be a lot of fun. The Windjammer obviously is a great place to have events, and I think there's a big enough space that it could be inside if it was bad weather.
Right, yeah.
So I think that's a great, I think it'll be a great experiment at least.
Definitely.
For next year. What is it like for you now? Like you really got indoctrinated over the summer into the NBA family, like you were, a fan of the beach. You were a beach goer. You were somebody who loved the beach, obviously, very much. And we talked about you kind of like always have gone to the beach.
Yeah.
It's your like, your special place. You love the beach.
Right.
You love going to the beach. You love going with your friends. It's a huge part of your life. What was it like to sort of go from being somebody who just goes to being like a part of the family?
Yeah, it's great because I feel like now I have the ability to make a difference. I'm part of the people who make decisions about the beach, and some of the things that I do might be able to go farther because there's more people that are involved now. It's just there's a lot of it is like a big family down there, all the businesses and everything. It's just really nice to be part of something bigger, especially when it's something that you care about. And I only got there because I just made a small step towards something that I thought would be cool, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And now, I have this relationship with them, and it's just a really cool thing that I'm excited about, going further with next year and being able to do even more. So
that's awesome. What is your favorite I don't know if I asked you this before. Like, what's your favorite thing that happens in the year at the beach?
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I still probably have to stick with the drive-in because it's just, I mean, you can't find anything like that really close by. I mean, there's one in Mansfield, but the fact that it's at the beach and then, it's a smaller version. Like, it feels more homey and community based, it's a nice one. And I think there's still a lot of room for the drive-in to grow because, a lot of times you'll talk to people about it and they'll be like, there's a drive-in in Misquamicut. And it's like, yeah. So I definitely think there's opportunity to make that bigger. And I think that's the coolest, most unique event that we have at the beach in the summer.
It really is amazing. I love the drive-in. I love, that it's there. And I like that it's a constant, it's one of the longest, it's an event, but it 1 to 2 times a week for the entire span of the season. Mm-hmm. There will always be something special to me about turning onto, I think it's Winnapaug Road, mm-hmm. And seing the Ferris wheel lit up though.
Yeah.
For Springfest and Fallfest, going there at night. Mm-hmm. During the day is beautiful too. But going there at night and seeing like the rides from far away.
Right.
That's such a cool sight.
Yeah.
And it gets me excited just 5 minutes before I even get to the beach because you can see it, Mm-hmm. And I am personally afraid of heights, very afraid of heights, but my friend took her son on the Ferris wheel for the first time this year at the beach, and she brought the camera along and got pictures and stuff of so it was the first time I've seen the view, like actually seen the view from the top of the Ferris wheel of the ocean. Mm-hmm. It's insane. I wish I wasn't afraid of heights because I would do it. I'm never getting on that thing. But so Springfest and Fallfest, and I love the concerts and stuff. So those are definitely my favorite events. And speaking of obviously the summer season kind of closed out in October, and Guy Fawkes was sort of the last big event in early October. But it's starting to rev up again. This is our end of the year chat, and then February 1st, the Luau, mm-hmm. which you're gonna go to this year. You're gonna be a part of as a part of the MBA, and that's at February 1st, 6:30 p.m. at Venice. And it's just a huge party. Yeah, right. It's just a huge party for the beach. It's a fundraiser, and I highly recommend everybody check out the Luau. We're gonna do a full episode about it in January, hyping it up, and talk about the details and what you can expect and all of that fun stuff. But the Luau, if you want something right now in December to get excited for about the beach, the Luau is a great place to start. Are you looking forward to? Yeah,
definitely. I think it's going to be really fun. And right now we're in the process of looking for businesses, restaurants that are willing to donate food, and it's kind of just like a big feast, it sounds like. So if any restaurants or anybody is interested in donating food, please contact the MBA, because I know that we're looking for volunteers for that right now. And also, I'm pretty sure that you can buy your tickets right now. So if you want to reserve like a table, the big kahuna tables, I mean, all of that you can start doing right now if you're interested. So, but I think it's going to be great.
You know what I've always like, and always, this is like the second long conversation you and I have ever had, but it's so funny to me that you went from being like just a young woman who wanted to get involved to you might be the best spokesperson for the beach, because you're so well spoken, and like you just went into such a great and I don't mean PR in like a negative way right now, but you just went into such a great PR speech about the Luau. That's awesome. I'm really excited that Misquamicut Beach has you're a great asset to the
Thank
NBA.
you. Yeah.
And that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. It's just about getting everybody involved, because without, the support of the community and everything, we wouldn't be able to do anything that we do. So, if you guys like what's going on,
Definitely.
But, yeah.
So we have, this episode, is obviously our last episode of 2018. And we started in February of 2018, and we have some podcasts in the backlog if you want to go listen to them, with Caswell Cook about being the executive director, Charles Treffis about the Windjammer and being the president of the NBA, and everything about Atlantic Beach Park, and the director of the Tourist Center, Linda Ravenel, Tim Brennan, the owner of Two Little Fish, who you know very well now, and who is just the greatest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Tim Brennan, what did he get from the governor's office this year?
I'm not entirely sure, but I know that Gina Raimondo came and visited him, and they discussed the plastic issue, and
yeah,
I'm not sure if he was awarded something.
If
I'm
he
not
wasn't,
sure
he
the
should have
specifics,
been.
But I know
Two Little Fish is amazing.
Yeah, and he was so generous this summer to us with, for the Waste Warriors. He offered us, a free meal, when we pick up the trash, and he's really environmentally conscious, and he's just genuinely such a nice guy. So it was so nice working with him this summer, and in the future, definitely.
That was episode 4 of our podcast, and it was it's a great interview the whole time, but if you go to the last 10 minutes of it, he just starts unloading about all of the environmental stuff that they do. And I was like, what? Can you come back and do 6 episodes about that? Because it's incredible.
I know.
We're going to have more in 2019, Memories of Misquamicut, where we talk with people who, just share of, there's literally over 100 years of people and parties and events and stuff that have happened at Misquamicut Beach. So we had a great episode about that with Chris Walsh and Mike Murray. Joey Molland from Badfinger, like I said. We had Gary the Guitar Gramellini from John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. The Andrea, Michael Pettit, who's a comedian who comes down to Misquamicut a lot. John Baddorf, who was for Tunes on the Dunes. We haven't talked about Tunes on the Dunes, how great Tunes on the Dunes is.
Yes, definitely.
Something to look forward to every year. I believe John Baddorf is coming back next year. We talked to Patty's. We talked to the Roadie's Red Nose Circus. We're going to be talking to Maria's soon, the hotel, the beautiful new hotel that just opened up. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming up, and there's a lot of fun stuff in the backlog if you want to do that. And hopefully, Justine, you're going to be a part of the show a little bit in 2019. You had an interview. You did some interviews for us at that press conference.
Yeah. Yep.
Which was awesome. And the video show version of the podcast that we talked about and we're trying to attempt to get done this summer was kind of hectic, and hopefully we can start doing that with the luau.
Right.
And hopefully you're going to be a part of that as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You are, as I said, just a fantastic spokesperson for the NBA.
Thank you.
And it's great. A fun drinking game. Go back if you do that sort of thing. Go back, listen to old episodes of the show. Every time I mention Caswell Cook's name or someone mentions Caswell Cook's name, either take a drink or call him and tell him to send me more money. Because he gets more free mentions than anybody. It's so that's that's fun. But it's really nice, and you're doing a lot of great work, and it's the amount of stuff that the NBA is doing right now that is great is incredible. It got better last year with all of the environmental stuff. The team that runs the NBA is awesome. Caswell, Charles, Tim, so many more people. there's just so many great things happening at the NBA, and Justine can talk about it far more than I can. So is there anything that you're, like, what are you most excited about for 2019 in general?
I'm excited to see. There's going to be, I think, some changes with the events, and we're, obviously trying to figure out. It's always a ongoing process of what works best, and introducing new things, and maybe retiring old things. So there's never going to be the same thing for people when they come back and visit the beach. And I think it's going to be cool to see this summer, what we can do differently and better, and make it so that each year or even each weekend is a new experience for the people that come and visit the beach. Because really, I think that's what keeps it going. So, I'm just really excited to see the events and, where we're going to go with it. And hopefully, I'm excited to get the Waste Warriors going again in the spring when people start to come and visit. And hopefully this year we can get even more numbers involved. There's just a lot of great things happening. The town of Westerly just started a plastics committee for utilization and commerce. So we'll see how that might affect the beach next year too. And there's just a lot of good things in the works. So we'll see.
All right, there you have it. The future president of the United States, Justine Gouvin. Thank you very much. That's it. That's all I got. All right. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
For more information on the events and businesses in Misquamicut Beach, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and at Misquamicut.org.